Hey, welcome back everybody. Today we're talking about the update that just happened on main branch. The underwater labs is now available and the Jade Skin picks. Alright, so let's break down the update that just happened to main branch Rust, also known as normal Rust. Some things of note. We now have blueprints available to be sold inside of vending machines. You can place water catchers on top of the ice lake, and it looks like that launch site puzzle has been fixed. And this one makes me a little sad, Panda. You can no longer reach into the safe zone and loot player bodies. That makes me so sad. You know how many people we've caught like that? My goodness. And a few other performance fixes and adjustments, and a few things for the custom servers to kind of help. There was a few glitches with like spectate and the entity details. So things look like they're coming along quite nicely for main branch. Also, of note, we now have Underwater Labs available on a PTB. Just so you know, before we go into the skin store here, it is a separate download. You can see right here. If you don't have it available, you can go to your own store, whether it's the Microsoft Store or the PlayStation Store, and then just search Rust Console Edition Public Testing Branch. Just know it's a separate download entirely, and that's where you play it. So it's available right now, and there's only just a few hiccups that are happening over there. I want to say the controls are a bit too sensitive, but they're still very functional. So like the Submarines, like we have two new vehicles, the Solo and Duo Submarines. They're available, and like they're just a bit sensitive. The way I could probably best describe it would be you're drifting a lot, as if you're on concrete in a drifting mobile. So yeah, I'm sure they'll make adjustments. I mean, that is testing branch. That's literally what it's there for. So I'm looking forward to those changes until then. But hey, still very playable, still very functional, and the underwater labs are fantastic. They're a blast. I would strongly recommend that people just pop in there and check it out. And hey, if you don't want to do like a full wipe, you can always load Builder's Paradise and just like hop in and check it out, because everything's like PvE for the most part, except I think against NPCs. Anyways, so on to the Jade Skin picks. So it's a very exciting week so far. Okay, so we have one repeat this week. We'll go over some of the prices here because obviously I've already bought those, and we'll hit some of the special items. Maybe we'll start with these. But this is the breakdown. So I know things are a bit costly these days, so RC, Rust coins, can always be in short supply. So the breakdown works like this. I have a green tier 1 and 2, and then an orange tier 1 and 2. And it's with some rationale usually, excuse me, behind it to kind of help you make a choice. But again, you know, it's all personal preference. Okay, so the special items that are available for another week, we have the Jade jacket. Obviously, I like this one because, you know, Jade, hello. This one's going for 300 Rust coins. I think this one's great. Obviously, I've already had this one, but remember this, especially if you're going into the winter biome, this is a nice piece that you can put on top of like a wetsuit, and we're going to be using wetsuits a lot more these days. Honestly, I think wetsuits are underrated. People don't use them enough. I see them on the ground oftentimes with other scuba equipment, so I'm always telling people, I'm like, pick that up. Well, now that we have underwater labs, you're going to want to do that all the time. Next one here is the Street M39 rifle. I think this one's great. We don't have too many of these M39 rifles skins, so I think this one's fantastic. It looks like graffiti. So this one's going for 350 Rust coins, if I'm not mistaken. That is correct. Okay. Very nice, very sharp. And I don't think any of these glow in the dark, by the way. Just to give you a point of reference. Okay, on to the main sets. Oh, I'm sorry, this is one of the repeats. So these three sets are new, but this one here is a repeat from last time. This one's the Prisoner Scout set. The full set, actually, I don't have that done in my notes. I don't know what that is, although you do save 30%. Man, that's the one thing I forgot. But in my notes, I do have the breakdown for each individual piece. We have the hunting bow here going for 125 Rust coins. It does say red rum on the side, which is kind of funny. Again, no glowing parts on this. Sometimes I do like the primitive stuff in the very beginning, because if you think about it, those are some of the things you have off the rip. We have the cap here, the prisoner cap, going for 100 Rust coins. We have the water pipe here going for 125 Rust coins. I like the little Roman numerals on the side. We have the Yoka pistol also going for 125 Rust coins. Again, I like to see some of these primitive things have skins, you know, because the Yoka can be the gun that gets you snowballing, you know. We have the burlap pants going for 100 Rust coins, and the burlap shirt that matches that also for 100 Rust coins. 2173, that's my code. Shh. Okay, so the breakdown here, the green picks I think are going to be pretty obvious here. 1 and 2 is going to be the Yoka for 125, just because I love I mean, you're always gonna, whenever you start a new server, which is for us often, I like having this as my, you know what I mean? Just a skin on your, the Yoka pistol is a go-to. That's my green first pick. My green secondary pick is going to be the water pipe shotgun for 125. I do like this weapon as well. More reliable, kind of like the Yoka, but it just doesn't have the failure rate. And for the orange picks, we're going to have the burlap shirt for 100. And to match it up, we're going to have the burlap pants also for 100 rust coins. Again, these are repeats. Occasionally, I think most of the time we have repeats. At least one skin set that kind of pops in with some of the new stuff. Okay, on to the new stuff. Okay, I think this one's very sharp. We have the Rabbit's Revenge Architecture. Jeez, I can't talk. Rabbit's Revenge Architecture, hello, for 1,090 rust coins. I think that's very reasonable, especially if you're in the market to get some new deployables. Or even if you have some. Now, I always say the glowing deployables are probably the most valuable to me personally. Because night times are so dark and it just helps you navigate. So it doesn't look like we have any glowing items here, but I do like this whole setup. I really like the aesthetic of this. I think it's fantastic. It's almost like, would it be a tapestry, or it's like old school embroidery from like the medieval times? And I guess a fictional tribe that has to do with rabbits. Okay, so let's break down each of these. So obviously we have the fridge here for 150 rust coins. More of the story here on the side. We have the large wooden box going for 250. Again, none of this glows in the dark. Then we have the armored door for 300 rust coins. I gotta love the armored door skins. I do like those a lot. Again, no glowing parts. Then we have the garage door going for 300 rust coins. You know what? Let me try to zoom into this as much as possible. I know this is going to take a second because this is as fast as the zoom goes, but you can see there's quite a bit of detail. It looks like this story, I guess, is depicted throughout the entire set. Do you see how much detail there is in there? You can actually see like the, isn't that nuts? The Great Siege, King New dead, Bad Bunny. This is the garage door for 300 rust coins. I just thought it was kind of nice to see some of that detail. Sorry, I know it took a second to zoom in. We have the sheet metal doors going for 300 rust coins. Again, the same idea. I don't know if we can spend the time to zoom all the way in. That's going to take a second. Sheet metal double doors are at a premium too. I do like that. And the sheet metal door going for 250 rust coins. Did we say how much the double door was? That's 300 rust coins. Okay, so the green skin picks. One is going to be the garage door for obvious reasons. I do like this a lot. Garage doors are very mid to late game. And the the green second pick is going to be the large wooden box. It's just nice to have some of this detail. So you don't always need the glowing parts, especially if you have other glowing boxes inside of your loot rooms. You can have something like this. And I just think it's funny, and each of the sides has something pretty unique. So that's the green second pick. Man, I always struggle on that. And now my orange first pick is going to be the armored double door for obvious reasons, because there's not too many skins for this, and I do like this whole pattern or aesthetic, or like an aesthetic. And then I think the orange secondary pick is going to have to be the fridge. We do use this quite often. It's the bunny. See? He just looks so ridiculous. So there you go. That is the Rabbit's Revenge architecture breakdown. So now we have the black board storage. I do believe this is a continuation of another box set that occurred, was it last year or maybe the year prior? Anyway, so this whole set's going for 1,050 rust coins. Again, very reasonable. And I don't know if we said this before, but if you're looking at, if there's 3 items here that you like, you probably want to consider getting the whole set. If you even remotely like some of the other ones, you just kind of save the money at that point. But again, I think these are quite reasonable for a box set and also for the deployables. Just me personally, but these are my favorite. I always like deployables, you know me. So all of these are going to be 250. We have the large storage box, and this one says tools on the side. This does glow in the dark. Then we have another one here for 250 going to electrical. Has the other languages on the side. And then we have the health box, again 250. The food box, which is red. I do like the color coordination too. I cannot tell you how helpful that is inside of a dark base. And again, weapons, 250. It would be nice if there was some glowing bits on top, but hey, I'll take it. Color-coded and some light-up text is always good for me. And now we have the armored box, which is like a purplish blue, bluey, purpley, 250. Okay, so the breakdown here is basically what color and or item would you like to have in the box. So my green first pick is going to be, surprise, surprise, the weapon box. And again, you don't necessarily have to put weapons in. Sometimes just the color and the glowing part helps a lot. And now my green second pick is going to be the armor glow-in-the-dark box that matches with the weapon set. Orange first pick is going to be health box for $250. And now my orange secondary pick is going to be electricity because I think this is going to be much more useful in the very near future. I mean, it's already super useful now. It's literally how you defend your base. But I think once we get that industrial update, whether it's the secret update or later on, yeah, this is going to be something maybe you want to have a sorted box for. So that's just me personally. So there you go. That's the breakdown for the blackboard storage. Oh, by the way, on these boxes, there's no glowing parts on top or bottom, obviously. It does look like the short ends do have both glowing sides. I don't know if I covered this earlier, so I just want to cover that now. And it looks like only the buckle has the glowing part or in the label on the front. So if you got the hinge side to the back of the wall, you should be okay. This is good for most loot room configurations because we usually have them. We're usually looking at the short side. So very functional, very functional. Even if it's just a little glowing bit, it kind of shows you where the surface of a wall is. And, you know, if you're looking left or right, you kind of know where your loot room is. So anyways, I find that very functional in a dark base. Savage Wasteland going for 1,050 rust coins. The first one here, we have the double barrel going for 250 rust coins. I do like the red spring for some reason. I don't know why, but I do. No glowing parts on any of this set. We have the Thompson for 225. Try to get up on some of that detail. We have the MP5 going for 250 rust coins. We have the SAP, the P2. It has many names. It almost looks like it would glow, right? I do like this, and honestly, with the new clip extension stuff and some of the other parts, you can really use this inside of a turret, or even just use it to go into some of the monuments if you're a bit on the broke side. So it's not bad. Again, the SAP going for 225. We have the AKES going for 275. I don't think the sights are red at all, so it's kind of standard sights. So this is more just aesthetic. No functionality off of this. And then we have the LR 300 for 275 rust coins. I kind of like the darker red on that one. It could just be the lighting on that side. And don't forget, you can always get the LR 300 assault rifle at the bandit camp. I can't remember how much scrap it is off top because I'll probably misquote it now. So anyways, you can always buy that there. So if you got a surplus of scrap, if you're fishing a lot, you know what I'm saying? All right, so the green first pick is going to be the double barrel for 250 rust coins. Again, such a do-work weapon, especially if you, you know, you have to rebuild or go outside and take care of some door campers, you know what I mean? And the green secondary pick is going to be the MP5, another do-work weapon, especially mid-late game. I think we can all agree on that the MP5 is a workhorse. And now my orange first pick is going to be the LR 300 for obvious reasons, because you can get it at the bandit camp, but also because it's a bit on the rare side as far as us having a ton of skins for this, although I guess we kind of have a lot more skins nowadays. And it looks like the orange secondary pick is going to be the Thompson. I had to think about that for a second. I was like, wait a second. So there you go. That's the Jade Skin picks for this skin set. It looks like we'll have this for roughly another 2 weeks or so, depending on when you see this. So if you like these, consider, you know, now's the time to grab these. And hopefully you guys get to jump in and check out some of the underwater labs. We'll have a guide out there soon enough. But if you'd like to see how offline raids could be a thing of the past in the very near future for us in Rust Console Edition, you should already see up on the end screen, offline raid protection will be automatically built in. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And hopefully we see you on our custom server or in the next live stream. Jeez, I can't talk. All right, love you. Bye. Peace.